before we begin, I want to thank a lot of people. First of all the parents that worked hard and making costumes, and particularly Deborah Jurist and Julia Rosland and Claire Huska and a lot of others who are not going to name but who helped.
Mikado, the true man, when he to rule our land began, resolved to try a plan whereby young men might best be steadied. So he decreed in words succinct that all proof that is little, then let's go do what he did. Should forthwith be beheaded, beheaded, beheaded. Should forthwith be until he's catched his owner. And we are right, I'll think you'll say, to argue in this kind way. And I right and you are right, and all is right as right can be. And you are right and we are right, and all is right as right can be. And all is right as right can be. Right as right can be.
Titty poo? But that's the highest rank a citizen can attain.
Yes, and when all the great officers of state resigned at once because they were too proud to serve under an ex-teller, I immediately accepted all their votes myself.
And the salaries attached to them.
It is my duty to serve as First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chief Justice, Commander-in-Chief, Lord High Admiral, Master of the Buckhounds, Groom of the Backstairs, Groom of the Upstairs Bathroom, Archbishop of Titty-Poo, and the Lord Mayor, all rolled into one. And at a salary. Imagine me, a poobah, accepting money for my services. But I do it. It revolts me, but I do it.
Does you credit.
But I don't stop at that. I go and dine with middle-class people on reasonable terms. I dance at cheap suburban parties for a moderate fee. I accept refreshments at any hands, however lowly. And I also sell state secrets for a very low price. For instance, any further information about Yum Yum would come under the heading of a state secret. This is another insult, but a light one, I think. You must forget about Yum Yum, for this very day she's coming home from school, and this afternoon she marries Coco. Take my advice and leave this place at once.
And I have traveled all this way to learn only that Yum Yum, whom I love so dearly, is to be married to Coco?
Here he comes.
I am touched by this generous reception, and I can only hope that by strict attention to duty, I shall continue to deserve your undying favor. If I am ever called upon to act professionally, I am sure that there will be no shortage of people whose loss will be a distinct gain to society.
As someday it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list, I've got a little list, a society of vendors who might well be underground, who never would be missed, who never would be missed. There's the pestilential nuisances who write for all laughs, all people who have flabby heads and irritating laughs, all children who are up in dates and floor you with them flat, all people who may shake hands with you like that, and all the persons who ask women tete-a-tetes insist that none of them be missed. They none of them be missed. He's not on the list. He's not on the list. And they none of them be missed. And none of them be missed. There's the handsome serenader and the others of his kind. The piano organist, sorry, I've got him on the list. And the people who eat peppermint and puff it in your face. They none of them be missed. They none of them be missed. There's the idiot who praises with enthusiastic tone all centuries, this one, every country but his own. The lady from the provinces who dresses like a guy, who doesn't think she dances, but would rather like to try. It doesn't really matter who you put on the list. They none of them be missed. They none of them be missed. You may put them on the list. You may put them on the list. And they none of them be missed. They none of them be missed. There's the natural food fanatic with his Brewer's Eastern brand. The pharmacist, I've got her on the list. And the telephone solicitor who gets you from the can. He's got you on his list, so why should you desist? All crystals, Tammy's, Tiffany's, all Jason's got some chips. All schoolgirls who say tip and embrace with fingertips. The letter instead of hi, the acquaintance who must hug you every time you say goodbye, and the teacher who gives quizzes on the lectures that you missed. I'm sure you've got the gist. I'll put them on the list. You may put them on the list. You may put them on the list. And they none of them be missed. They none of them be missed. My approaching marriage must last week. And I should like to do it quite handsomely. And I would like to consult you as to Mount Iceland.
Certainly. In which of my capacities as First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chamberlain, Chancellor of the Exchequer, or Private Secretary?
The matter shall have my careful consideration. But my bride and her sisters approach. Three little maids from school are we, but just a schoolgirl well can be. They look to the brim with foolish glee. Three little maids from school, free things in the source of fun. Nobody's safe, but we care for none. Life is a joke that has just begun. Three little maids from school. Three little maids who all unwearing come from a ladies' seminary. Read from a genius to Tulare. Three little maids from school. Three little maids from school. One little maid is a front yum-yum. Two little maids is a let's go. Three little maids is a no-to-come. Three little maids from school. From three little maids take one away. Two little maids remain and they won't have to wait very long, they say. Three little maids from school. Three little maids who all unwary come from a ladies' seminary, free from the genius to Tulare. Three little maids from school. Three little maids from school. Seems odd, doesn't it? It's rather peculiar. Oh, I expect it's all right. There must be a beginning, though. Well, I've no objection, if it's usual.
Oh, it's quite usual, I think, Lord Chamberlain.
I want it done.
Thank you.
Oh, thank goodness that's over. Oh, it's there! Right, everyone, we've been at school. Thank goodness that's all over now. We're not going to back it anymore.
Goodbye now. Take him away.
But what is this? A customer come for fitting?
That, my dear, is a tremendous notebook.
Ah! It's alive!
Go away, little girls. I don't have time for little girls like you. Just go away and leave me alone. I'm very busy.
Goodbye. These are my 3 wards. The one in the middle is my bride-to-be.
Oh. How do you do, little girls? How do you do?
There's a good little nobleman. Yum Yum, at last we're alone. I have sought you night and day and believed that your garden was content. And I find that you're to be married to him this afternoon.
Alas, yes.
But you do not love him?
Alas, no.
Then why do you not refuse him?
He is my guardian, and he wouldn't let me marry him.
But I would wait till you are of age.
You forget that in Japan, girls do not become of age until they are 50.
True. From 17 to 49 is a considerable time.
Besides, a wandering minstrel who plays outside tea houses is hardly a fit husband for the Lord High Executioner.
But what if it should prove that I am the son of none other than His Majesty, the Mikado?
The son of the Mikado? But why is your Highness disguised? And what has your Highness done? And what does your Highness do? And what if he promised never to do it again?
Some years ago, I had the misfortune to be loved by Kadisha, an elderly lady of my father's court. She claimed me in marriage under my father's law, and my father ordered me to marry her within a week. That night, I ran away, and assuming the guise of a second trombone, joined the band where he found me.
If you please, I think your Highness had better not move too near. The laws against flirting are very, very, very strict.
But you're quite alone. No one can see it.
Oh, this will never do!
Oh, to think how my future happiness is wrapped up in that little parcel.
Her His Majesty, the Mikado!
Oh dear. I'm better from the Mikado. What do you have to say to me? It's in English. The Mikado was struck by the fact that no executions have taken place in Titipu for a year, and that unless somebody is executed within 1 month, that the position of Lord High Executioner will be abolished. Oh dear. And the town will be reduced to the rank of a little village. Oh, but we will be ruined. Yes, this is very difficult. I shall have to execute somebody at once. The question is, who shall it be?
Well, it seems unkind to say so, but since you are already under the sentence of death for flirting, everything would seem to point to you.
To me? What are you talking about? I can't execute myself.
Why not?
Because first of all, it's not only a difficult but a dangerous thing to attempt. And in second place, it's suicide. And suicide is a capital offense.
Yes, that is so, no doubt.
See how a man can cut off his own head.
Well, a man might try.
Even if you're only succeeding in cutting it, how? That would be... Excuse me! But as Lord High Executioner, my reputation is at stake. And I can't consent to a professional operation unless I'm absolutely sure that it will succeed.
That professional attitude is fine for you, but it puts me and the rest of us in a very awkward, very, very awkward position.
My good sir, awkwardness of your position is grace itself compared to that of a man cutting off his own head. I'm afraid that unless you can obtain a substitute... A substitute? Why, nothing easier. Come on. You're Lord High substitute.
Oh, goody. Oh, goody, goody, good. Such an appointment would realize my fondest dreams, but no, I don't much care for that.
Nor I.
Nor I don't much care to sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock, in a pestilential prison. lifelong walk, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black rock, to sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock, in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black rock.
About to end an undurable existence.
Nonsense!
You're going to marry the girl I adore.
If you attempt anything of the kind, I shall summon my guard immediately.
If you summon your guard, I shall kill myself instantly with this dagger.
Oh, no. Come, be reasonable. Be reasonable. But you cold-blooded scoundrel, do you realize that in taking your own life, you're committing a crime which is... Substitute.
Whatever the matter?
Is it absolutely certain that you are to die?
Absolutely.
Well, then, don't spoil yourself by committing suicide, but be beheaded handsomely at the hands of the Lord High Executioner.
I don't see how that would help me.
You don't? Observe. You will live for a month. Yes, a month. At my expense. And when the day comes, there'll be a grand, oh dear, a grand procession. Death march. Bellows tolling. Oh, the girl in shield. Yum, yum. So sad. When it's finally over, grand rejoicing and a display of fireworks in the evening. You won't see them, but they'll be there all the same.
Do you think Yum Yum will really be sad?
Oh, I'm sure of it.
I hate to cause her pain.
Noble fellow.
I know how to do it. You let me marry Yum Yum, and in a month, you may behead me.
Excuse me, but I draw the line at Yum Yum.
If you can draw the line, so can I.
Oh, no. Come. How can I consent? Oh! How can I consent to you marrying Yum Yum when I'm going to marry her myself in a month?
Well, my dear sir, she'll be a widow in a month. You can marry her then.
I agree. After all, it's only putting off my wedding for a month. Stop it.
With aspects Is he going to job at?
Not necessarily. It all depends.
I find it very indelicate of you to refer to such a subject on this day. For my married happiness.
Cut short.
They've been reminding me that in a month you're to be beheaded.
Yes, we've been reminding you you're to be beheaded. It's quite true, you know. You ought to be beheaded.
Now, some bridegrooms would be oppressed by this sort of thing. Let's not be downhearted.
Yes, let's be perfectly happy.
It's absurd to cry.
Quite ridiculous.
Go on.
Don't mind me. I'm afraid we're obsessing you.
No, it's no use committing to oneself with false hopes.
What do you mean?
Oh, my poor dear young. My poor bride that was to have been. I've just concluded that by the Mikado's law, when a married man is beheaded, his wife is buried alive.
Buried alive?
Yes, it's quite an unpleasant death.
I suppose my dream of happiness is that man.
Darling, I don't want to appear selfish, and I love you with all my heart. But when I agreed to marry you, my own pet, I had no idea that I shall have to be buried alive in a month. It makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yes, it certainly does make a difference.
You see, burial alive, it's such a stuffy thing. You see my difficulty, don't you?
Yes, and I see my own. If I insist on your carrying out your promise, I do mean to a hideous death. Yet if I release you, you marry Coco at once.
Here's a howdy do, if I marry you. When your time has come to perish, then the maiden whom you cherish must be slaughtered too. Here's a howdy do, here's a howdy do.
Here's a pretty mess, in a month or less. I'm sorry that away and let these bitter tears I'm shedding witness my distress. Here's a pretty mess, here's a pretty mess.
Here's the state of things. To her life she clings. Matrimonial devotion doesn't seem to suit her notion. Burial it brings. Here's the state of things. Here's the state of things.
That's intense, I worship and adore. But the laws of common sense we ought to ignore. If what he says is true, descends to marry you. Here's a pretty state of things. Here's a pretty howdy do. Here's a pretty state of things. A pretty state of things. Here's a howdy do.
Here's howdy do.
For if what he says is true, I cannot marry you. Here's a pretty, pretty state of things. Here's a pretty howdy do.
I'm very sorry, but you shan't be deprived of wedding. You shall come to mine.
I am very sorry, but that's impossible.
Why? Myself.
Today I die.
What for?
You're going to marry me. This afternoon I die.
Oh, no you don't. Our bargain isn't bargain. You can't kill yourself. With suicide, I'm gonna have to be beheaded in your place.
It would certainly seem so.
Now then, Lord Mayor, what is what is it?
Oh, it's nothing significant.
No. It's not.
No, it's really nothing.
Really, do tell. I hate having other people have secrets.
Well, do you think I should tell her that the Mikado and his party are approaching the city and they will be here in 10 minutes or not?
Excuse me? I didn't quite catch that.
The Mikado and his party are approaching the city and will be here in 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes!
Oh, boy.
Now you see here, this is getting serious.
moment's notice.
Well, still, as Lord High
As
Executioner.
Lord High Executioner, I have to kill him in 1 month's time. Count it, 1. I'm not ready yet. I was actually going to take lessons. See, I was going to start with guinea pig, and I was going to work my way up through the animal kingdom till I came to a second trombone. But meanwhile, I'm not ready. I can't kill it. Because I can't kill anything.
Come, if I don't mind, why should you? I mean,
Now, I'm not so sure of that. Why must I actually kill you when making out a little certificate in a word you said that already said that you've been killed and do just as well? Brains. Well, there are plenty of witnesses. There's Lord Admiral, Lord Chief Justice, Lord Mayor, Lord, what is it? Groom is something or other. Chief Mucky Muck, Lord High, do my hair the right way, and all those other ones. They'll all confess to it, I'm sure.
where are you?
Right there. They'll all confess to it. Well,
Will the insult be cash now or at a later date?
cash now, buddy. Just a minute. What's the problem with the old money belt here?
Just give me the sack.
I'll pay you in due time.
Very well. You draw it up and I'll sign it. But you better pay me.
But I tell you, life without Yum Yum.
Yum yum. Yum yum. Yum yum. Yum yum. Fine. Commissioner, or chief, or you, Puma, go fetch Yum Yum. Yum Yum. Will you know what I tell you? You go marry Yum Yum and you don't come back here anymore. You hear that? She's over there.
All right.
Yum Yum.
Go back over there. Over the bridge.
Yum Yum, my dear. Are you terribly, horribly busy? Yes. Just been shaved. Are you horribly busy? Do you have 5 minutes to spare? Yes. Okay, then go get Archbishop and get married at once. And don't ask any questions. Maggie will explain it all. And don't be coming around here anymore because the Mikado is coming. And if he sees you, I shall have the greatest difficulty persuading you that I've already killed you.
They were
I wish I had been in time for the performance.
Oh, it was wonderful. His chuckles were gigantic. His manner of terrific strength.
Describe it.
What? The criminal cried as he dropped him down in a state of wild alarm. With a frightful, frantic, fearful frown, I bared my big right arm. I seized him by his little pigtail, and on his knees fell he hung. As he squirmed and struggled and gurgled and gumbled, I drew my Snicker snake. My Snicker snake, my Snicker snake. Oh, never shall I forget the shriek at me as I gnashed my teeth when from its sheath I drew my Snicker snake.
No, it will begin, I say, I drew around the stairs. He always tries to utilize, and every time he fails.
He shivered and shook as he gazed aside for the stroke he didn't deserve. When all of a sudden his eye met mine, and it seemed to please his nerve. We nodded his head and he kissed his head and whistled and acted he, as the saber true cut in before his cervical vertebrae. Man's afraid of beautiful maid, as the cheering sun can see. And it's oh, one night that cold inside was stood by the side of me. My heart was heavy, began to sue, and truth quite a breeze. But this exact or fault of start amounts to a disease.
Now, though you'd have said that head was dead, for its owner's head was free. It stood on its neck with smile well bred and bowed 3 times to me. It was none of your impudent off and nods, but as humble as could be. We clearly knew the deference due to a man of pedigree. And so I vow this deathly vow was a touching sight to see. Though tongueless yet, it couldn't forget the deference due to me.
Because he knew he speaks the truth whenever he finds it pays. And in this case, it all took place exactly as he says. Exactly, 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 exactly as he says.
Well, this is all very interesting, and I should have liked to have been in time for the performance. But we have come across a totally different matter. A year ago, my son, the heir to the throne, bolted from our imperial court.
Indeed, had he any reason to be displeased with his position?
None whatever. On the contrary, I was going to marry him. Yet he fled.
I am surprised that you would have fled from one so lovely.
That's not true.
No.
You say that my face is plain, but that is not true. It is not in the face alone that beauty is to be found. My face is unattractive. But my left shoulder blade is a miracle of loveliness. And my right elbow is a sight few can resist.
Oh, allow me.
It's on you, Tuesdays and Fridays, a presentation of a visiting card.
Yeah, he fled.
And is now hiding in this tower disguised as a second trombone.
A second trombone?
Yes, it be troubling you altogether too much if I asked you to produce him? He goes by the name of Nanky Poo. Nanky Poo.
Well, that's, that's quite easy. Actually, it's rather hard. In point of fact, he's gone abroad. He's traveling.
Abroad. His address.
Lintonville?
Ha! What's the matter? See here. This name. Nanky Poo. Beheaded this morning? Oh, where shall I find another? Where shall I find another? Dear, 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 this is very tiresome. My poor boy, in your eagerness to carry out my wishes, you have beheaded the heir to the throne of Japan.
Great, great.
Oh, but your Majesty, our very extremely horribly sincere apologies. We hadn't the least notion.
Of course you couldn't. How could you? If a man of exalted rank chooses to disguise himself as a second John Book, he must pay the consequences. I've no doubt he thoroughly deserved all he got.
We really hadn't any way of knowing who the gentleman really was.
It wasn't written on his forehead, you know.
Well, it actually might have been written on his pocket handkerchief, but the Japanese don't carry pocket handkerchiefs. Ha! Ha!
I forget the punishment for causing death to the heir to the throne.
Punishment?
Yes, I think boiling oil occurs in it, but I'm not sure. I think it's something of that sort. I think boiling oil occurs in it, but I'm not sure. I know it's something humorous, but lingering. Either boiling oil or melted lead. I'm not a bit angry.
The least notion.
The least notion.
I wasn't there.
That's the sad part, unfortunately. The silly law says causing death to the heir of the throne. It's not a word about a mistake.
No.
Or not knowing.
No.
Or having no notion. Or not being there. There should be, of course.
Yes.
But there isn't. Now, let's see about your execution. Well, after luncheon, can you wait till then?
Oh, yes. We can wait till then.
Then we'll make it after lunch.
I don't want any lunch.
I'm really very sorry for you all, but it's an unjust world, and virtue is triumphant only in theatrical performances.
There's only one thing to be done. Nanky Poo hasn't left yet. He must come to life again at once. Oh, here he is. Mr. Bridegroom Nanky Poo, good news. You're pardoned.
Oh, but it's too late. I'm a dead man, and I'm off for my honeymoon.
But what's that got to do with it?
He's married now.
What's that got to do with it? By the way, the Mikado is here, and with Katisha. He wants you so much. But he is
So
now.
did she.
Hey,
But he's married now.
so?
Katisha claimed me in marriage. But since I'm already married, she'll insist on my execution. And if I'm executed, my wife must be buried alive.
You see our difficulty. Yes. I don't know what's to be done.
I have an idea. If you could get Katisha to marry you. Have no further claim over me, and I could come to life without fear of being put to death.
I really, really, really think it's our only hope.
Katisha. Marry. Me. You. What? Have you seen her face? It's disgusting.
But her left hand heel is a miracle of loveliness.
Yeah. And her shoulder blade is really hot.
Keep my love on Is it weakness of intellect? Hear I cry, or a rather tough word in your little inside? With a shake of his poor little head, he replied, "Oh, willow, tin willow, He slept out his chest as he sat and laughed out, singing willow, tin willow, and a cold perspiration was made on his brow. Oh, willow, tin willow, and a sob and a sigh and a goo gave, and he plunged himself into the billowy clay, and an echo arose from the suicide's grave. Oh, willow, tis willow, tis willow. Now I'm sure, just as sure as I'm sure that my name is willow, tis willow, tis willow. That was right in affection that made him exclaim, "Oh, willow, tis willow, tis willow." And if you remain callous and obdurate, I shall perish as he did, and you will know why. Though I probably shall not explain as I die. Oh, willow, willow, willow.
Did he really die of love?
Yes, I'm afraid he did.
All on account of a cruel little head?
Oh, yes. It's a touching story, and quite true. I knew the boy
Poor little chap. Did you? Must have been very fond of her.
His love was extraordinary.
And yet, if I refuse you, will you go and do the same? At once! Oh, no. No, don't do that. You mustn't. I'm a silly little goose. You are. And you won't hate me? Just a teeny little bit bloodthirsty.
But, Tat, Patisha! Is there not loveliness even in bloodthirstiness?
My idea exactly.
There is beauty in the bellow of the blast. There is grandeur in the growling of the gale. There is elegance a pouring when the light is roaring and the tiger is a lashing of his tail. Yes, I like to see the tiger from the Congo or the Niger, and especially with the lashing of his tail. Volcanoes have a splendor that is grand, and earthquakes only terrify the dolts. But to him the scientific, there is nothing as terrific in the falling of a flight of thunderbolts. Yes, in spite of all my meekness, if I have a little weakness, it's a passion for a flight of thunderbolts. If that is so, sing dairy and dairy, it's evident very our tastes are one. Away we'll go and merrily, merry lords heartily, tear till day is done. If that is so, sing dairy and dairy, it's evident very our tastes are one. Away we'll go and merrily, merry lords heartily, tear till day is done. Sing dairy and dairy, it's evident very our tastes are day is done.
Now then, we've had a fine lunch and we're
Mercy. My husband at West Coast been instead. Well, I didn't write this miserable object.
Oh, you've not been long about it.
You were married before the town clerk. Thank you.
I'm the registrar.
I see, but my problem is that you have slain an heir to the throne.
The heir is not slain.
Bless my heart, my son.
And I'm a daughter-in-law.
Traitor!
You deceived me!
Yes, you are entitled to a little explanation, but I think you would give it better whole than in pieces.
Well. Well, it's like this. When your honorable, high, lordly majesty says, let things be done, that thing is done as soon as possible. And since it's done so quickly, it almost is done. It practically is done. Because your majesty's will is law. And when your gentleman says, let your gentleman be, when your majesty says, let your gentleman be, that gentleman is told off to be killed immediately. And then he practically is dead. And if he is dead, why can't we say so?
I see. Nothing could possibly be more satisfactory.